What's going on, guys? Mini Meatloaf here, and today I will be showing you how you can qualify for the World Cup 2020. With the World Cup 2019 just finished, many players got their fair share of money and publicity from the tournament. You yourself might be wondering, how do I qualify for this tournament or future Fortnite tournaments? Well, today I'm going to show you 5 easy steps that you can do to qualify for this tournament or future tournaments and hopefully win yourself some money and publicity. So guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also stick around till the end of the video, because the last tip that I will be telling you is the most important, and I'm sure all players who qualified for the World Cup has tried this out. So that's really important, guys. Don't forget to stick until the end, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Number 1 on our list is Arena. Chances are, if you are watching this video and trying to qualify for World Cup, you already know what Arena is. This is how you get into the qualifiers for the World Cup. You get points for getting kills and placement, and the game is very like a tournament. So this is good practice because you get a feel for what the tournament's like. You also play against players the same as you, so you're not fighting people that are easy to kill, and you're constantly improving by getting points. It's a great way to test out new strats and different landing locations. You can also see which strats are working depending if you're losing points or gaining points, and it's just a really good way to know where you are on the competitive level and also help you improve, because you're constantly getting more points, playing against better players and being a better player yourself. Moving on to number 2 on the list. We all have a friend that is better than us at Fortnite, so we need to 1v1 that friend. There's no point in 1v1ing someone who you know you're better than and who you always win against, because that's not a challenge. There's no point in not being challenged, because then you don't improve. For those people who say, well, I don't have a friend that's better than me, no one's better than me, well then, why are you watching this video? You should already have qualified for the World Cup and be qualifying for the next World Cup. So for them people, then you go qualify. For the rest of us, 1v1 someone who is better than us, because that's just how you improve. If you 1v1 them, you'll feel like you're improving. You'd obviously not win the first fight because they are better, but you will get closer and closer and eventually maybe win against them, or definitely get close. Creative is a great game mode because it helps you improve. You can improve by 1v1ing your friends, doing anything. It is your choice. But there is one problem with creative. People get too used to having infinite mats, infinite ammo, the best weapons, and also using the same weapons against your teammates. One thing that people get used to in creative is having infinite mats. People just constantly build. They build to their heart's content. They don't build just to gain ground. They will 90 up. They will do very fancy retakes, high ground retakes. But we can't do this in creative, or we can't do this in public games. We can only do it in creative. So if you want to practice to be better in a public game or a competitive game, then why are you doing it in creative? Just because you can doesn't mean you should. If you're in creative, only use high ground retakes, builds, everything. Only use what you can, or for what you'd use in a public game. Don't do a fancy high ground retake if you're not going to use that in a public game. If your high ground retake wastes 200 materials, chances are you're going to be out of mats very fast in a public game, and you just don't want to do that. So that's what I recommend for tip number 3. Everyone has a landing location that they prefer to land in competitive games. It might be Lucky Landing, Frosty Flights, The Block, Snobby Shores, anywhere. It could be anywhere. But one thing that you should do is to practice in Playground. Playground's great because you can play it like a normal game. You can say to, I don't know, you could have 2 or 3 friends all go into Playground, pretend you're dropping out of the battle bus, and just say, lads, start with nothing, we're going to Lucky Landing, Frosty Flights, wherever your drop spot is, and then you can just play like it's the start of a normal game without anyone else interrupting. This is great practice because you don't have infinite mats, you don't have the same weapons as your teammate. It is just like a normal game would be. This will help you get used to the layout, get used to where the loot is, and also get used to finding bad loot, really, because you're not going to get great loot, you're not going to get your legendary combats. In competitive, you could find a great attack, you could find a legendary combat, but chances are you're not. You're going to find a drum gun attack, an AOR, whatever you're going to find. This will get you used to having bad loot, sometimes good loot, and it's all around just a really good way to practice. So that's what I'd recommend for tip number 4. So guys, for tip number 5, this is of course the most important. I'm sure that all World Cup qualifiers have used this tip. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click the red button on my channel, which is the subscribe button. You're going to want to turn on post notifications, and of course use code mini-meatloaf in the bottom right corner of the Fortnite item shop. Trust me guys, everyone did this, everyone won some money in the World Cup, so you should too. And that is it for this video. I hope you do well in qualifying, maybe win a bit of money, publicity, or do well in any other tournaments. Hope this helped you out guys. Don't forget to keep practicing it, and I will see you in my next video.